everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am making rosehip jelly today. In my pot I have 4 cups of rosehip tea, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and a box of Sure-Jell pectin. I'll show you the box when I turn it around. This is the 4th time I'm trying to do this video. I keep cutting you off. So we're pretty much at, it says to bring it to a full boil, which is a boil that you can't stir down. I don't know if you can see that with all the steam, but it's actually, could go a little bit higher, I think. And I don't want to turn my heat up. And I guess that's, yeah, we're getting there. So, sorry. So I decided to make this because I used dry rose hips, and I started out with a 1/4 cup of dried rose hips to 4.5 cups of water. But there wasn't any scent at all, and there wasn't any flavor either. Alright, so now we're at that boil. So I'm going to add all my sugar all at once. Whoa, sorry. And I'm adding 5 cups of sugar. Sorry about that. I'm standing off to the side and my cart rolled backwards on me. So now, once the sugar is dissolved, which takes a little bit, you have to bring it up to a full boil and boil it for a minute. So, and you'll tell when it's a full boil because it'll rise. But you have to stir constantly. It's not something that you can walk away from. So once you set out to make jelly, you have to make sure you're staying there and do it. So my jars have been boiling for a good probably 15-20 minutes now, because you know, I steeped. Oh, let me go backwards a little bit. Sorry. So when I put the 1/4 cup of dried rose hips in the water, I brought the water to a boil first. I put the 1/4 cup of rose hips in. Didn't have any scent or anything, so I added about another 1/2 cup and a little bit more water, just so I could get the 4 cups of tea out of it. Then I strained it, and this is going to gel, I can tell. See this? We're not even boiling yet. Probably can't see it, but it's getting thicker. I can feel it on my spoon. I can feel the resistance on my spoon. So, I added about another 1/4 cup of the dried rose hips, and I let it steep for another 10 minutes. And then I sprinkled my, Sure-Jell on it, and brought it up to a boil. And you saw me add the sugar, so yeah, it's definitely getting thicker. You can pretty much tell if it's gonna gel or not. With jams, I don't use pectin. I just cook it down, which is why I had such a problem with the orange marmalade gelling up for me. I didn't cook it down enough, and then I had to redo it. So it is what it is. But this is definitely going to gel. Jellies, you need pectin. I mean, you could boil down the sugar and juice, but that's going to take a long time. I don't have that much patience. I'm a patient person, but that's a little bit too much for me. So when you use powdered pectin, you have to add it to your juice. This is a tea, whatever, liquid. Before you add the sugar, and you should add it while it's cool. So I let it cool down a little bit, not completely, because just out of patience. Like I said, this is the third or fourth time trying to do this video, so we will be gelling quite soon, I believe. So I've never made it before, but I wanted to try it. I had the dry rose hips for tea. So I said, hey, why not? What I'd like to do this year is get out there and pick some wild violets and make some violet jelly as well. If there's any left. I mean, if they come back, that is. If not, maybe I'll buy a... I did plant some Johnny Jump Up seeds. So I could probably use them too, I don't know. Anyway, back to the rosehip jelly. Scattered. Very scattered. So it takes a couple minutes for it to come back up. And you'll see it starting, you know, because you'll start to get foam, which you're starting to see. Right. You'll know when it's ready because the top of your jelly will have like a, that's like a cloudy look, but that's after boiling it. So sorry about the noise, but there's really nothing you can do. Aha, we are boiling. Okay, so now watch it rise, because it is going to rise up. It's going to revolt. And that's a full boil. I'm going to set my timer for a minute to see how it's foamy and stuff, and I don't know if you can tell on the video, but it did rise. It's rising as we speak. So you need a very big pot when you make jelly, because otherwise you will overflow. This is, I think this is an 8-quart pot. I'm not sure. I'd have to check the bottom. But yeah, see how it keeps coming up and up and up? So 5 more seconds, and then I can turn the heat off. Alright, let me remove some of this foam. I wish this part wasn't the way it is, but it is, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to give this as gifts or not, but I'm going to take the foam off anyway. If it was just for me, I don't care. So I'm going to, and you can tell it's already gelling. So this is definitely going to be jelly. But usually when you use pectin, it's the only thing I had a problem with as far as jelly was the watermelon jam that I made, jelly that I made. That never ever took, and I used liquid pectin for it, so I don't know if I would do that again. And one time when I made the orange juice jam, it didn't take, but then, like at first it didn't take, but then that's good enough. After a while of sitting, it took. All right, so I'm going to do a 1/4 inch headspace, I believe. And then I'm going to let them process for 10 minutes. So when you take your lid off your canning pot, always face it towards the back of you, not towards you, because that steam can burn you pretty badly. So what I'm going to do, because I'm using small jars, I'm going to take all my jars out. I don't normally do that because I like them to be, I want to make sure that they're sterile, but because this is jelly and I'm using small jars, I am going to do that. So let me get them out and I'll be right back. Well, I only have room for 7. So I will be doing 7 at a time. Now with jelly, and the reason I'm doing it this way is because when I'm using these smaller jars, and I noticed when I was canning the wine jelly, by the time I get to the last jar, it's gelling and it gets really gloppy. And I don't want that to happen. So I don't know, have no idea how many jars this is going to make, but these are the 4-ounce jars. And a friend of mine had gifted me jars that a friend of hers had from, like, I don't know, a long time ago. And I'll tell you what, these jars are much thicker than the jars you buy today. Much thicker. So I'm going to attempt to debubble, but we know how that goes, right? It is jelly after all. Excuse me. That one has a little too much in it. Oh yeah, it's a sticky mess already, folks. Alright, get these wiped down. As always, I have vinegar in my little container here. I have separate paper towels to wipe the rims off with. Just finger tight, not crazy tight. And yes, I used the Select-A-Size paper towels and I cut them into quarters. So I'm only using 3 little segments there. So it's actually 1 paper towel and a half. Where's my thing? My lifter. Oh, here it is. You guys out of the way. Because I'm weird about it. I'm just weird about it. That little drop of water that went in that one isn't going to hurt it. So, I decided to try a couple different different lids too today. Normally I just use ball lids, but I decided I would try the lids that came with, I think, the Anchor Hocking ones. I'm only trying one because I figure if it doesn't take, I don't want to waste all of this jelly. You know? Alright, so I'll be back when they're already in, all of them are in the canner. I don't know if you can tell on the video, but it's starting to gel already. Maybe you can tell by the bottom of the pot. Yeah. Oh, went too deep there. See? It is gelling. Have to take more out of that one, I think. Wow. Oops, sorry. I need a spatula. Get the last of that. I don't think that jar is going to fit though, so I'm just going to. It fit without the rings on it. Then I don't know about with the rings on it. So I'm just going to leave the other jar out. What happened to my paper towels? Oh, here they are. Apparently I moved them. I'll be back. Actually, I'll keep you here. So you get kind of used to where a 1/4 inch is just from canning. It's like the top ring of the screw-on part there. So yeah, I thought it was interesting and then figured I would give it a try. Just enough pieces of paper towel. I'll tighten these more when I get them on. There you go. My canner is right next to the stove, so don't do this at home, folks. Unless you're used to hot, burning hot. Yeah, so. All right. And you want at least 1 inch of hot water on top of your jars. I try to make it 2 inches just to be safe, because it's supposed to be 1 inch or 2. So and I usually keep my canner on low when I'm doing this. Oops. I actually could have. Oh, sorry about the visual of my garbage pail there. I used my water from my tea when I could have just used the water from the lids. Oh well. I have to boil more water for tea tonight. It is what it is. Let's see how deep you are. Alright, so I'm going to bring it back up to temperature. Well, back up to a full boil. And I'm going to let it go for 10 minutes. And this stuff that's in, look at that, it's already gelling, see it? This stuff, hopefully this jar is big enough. Not that it really matters, because I can use another jar. I'm not canning this one. This one's going in the refrigerator. So I can give it a taste test. So I'm not too worried about. See that? It's already gelling. So, I don't know. I like to do this kind of thing. You know, I guess I'm like Little Miss Susie Homemaker or something. I like to bake. I like to plant. I like to make jelly. I like to can other stuff. That's who I am. I'm not a, you know, I guess in a way, kind of sounds weird, but I guess in a way I'm a little thankful that I do have the fibromyalgia, because I don't have to work. In a way. I get bored though. I really do. So I guess this is how I keep myself from going stir crazy. Because you can very easily go stir crazy. Like I said, this jar is going in the fridge, so I'm not worried about any kind of contamination. And I'm going to take that foam that I skimmed out and put it in here too, because waste not, want not, and it is for me. So it's the same thing. It's just foamy. So I'm going to bring my jars up to a boil, and I'll bring you back when I'm pulling them out. Be back in a bit. So just so you know, I always taste test my jelly. And that's good stuff. Who would have thought? I'll be back when I'm pulling the jars out. Brought you back sooner than it isn't even boiling yet. So this is Sure-Jell. It's a premium fruit pectin. So it is made from fruit and then powdered somehow. I've been using the ball pectin. It's all fruit pectin. Anyway, other than, like I said, to make jam, I don't use pectin at all. I just cook it down. But to make jelly, I do use pectin. This is good. I'm really surprised. It's hard to describe the flavor. A little citrusy, a little fruity. It's pretty good though. Oh, excuse me. It's pretty good. I'll be back when I'm taking them out. Okay, so I washed that pot. It is 8 quarts, so I was right. I have 6 seconds left for the canner. Now I'm going to shut it off. Always open your lid away from you. And I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes so my jars get adjusted to cooling off some. That's pretty good. I wish I could describe the flavor of it. Like I said, it's kind of fruity, kind of citrusy. Nothing I've ever tried. So, yeah. So if you want to make jelly, the cat is scratching me, you need an 8-quart pot. So I decided to wash them while I was waiting for my timer to go off. I'm kind of looking forward to tasting it on bread with butter, the jelly. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Now I'm just going to wait. I'll bring you back in 4 minutes. Okay, so the timer went off. I'm going to take my jars out. And they're pink. Do you hear it? One of my most favorite sounds in the world. So like I said, I used 4-ounce jars. It's very pretty too. It's a pretty pink color. I think they all popped. Oh, there goes another one. So out of the, oh geez, out of the 4 cups of rose hip tea and 5 cups of sugar, I got 12 4-ounce jars. So this one here, this lid here, is an Anchor Hocking lid. I'll let you know how it seals, but that's the color of it. And this is the one that I'm putting in the refrigerator. That's that, rose hip jelly. I am so excited. I can add another thing to my list of jelly making. Now, not tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Depends on my energy level. I'm going to do hibiscus jelly too. And yeah, never had that either. Excuse me. But there's benefits to, like the rose hip jelly. Rose hips have more vitamin C than oranges do. So that's why I made it. That's why I made it. I wanted to try it because, like I said, I've never had it before, and that's why I put it in the little jars also, because I figured if I didn't really like it enough to eat a whole 8-ounce jar at a time, I didn't want to waste it, you know. So that's my thinking. Because like with the wine jelly, I do the same thing. I use the 4-ounce jars because there's no way I would eat all of that wine jelly like in an 8-ounce jar before it goes bad. Sadly, I can't even say that I use any of the jelly in 8-ounce jars before they go bad. I mean, and it takes a long time for them to go bad too. They say they're only good for 2 weeks in the refrigerator after opening, but trust me, they last a long time, a very long time. So that's my thing for today. I hope everybody is staying safe and following guidelines, and I hope we get over this virus soon so that we can enjoy our summer. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.